The bomb just went off in Ashburn and Jaden Daniels is heated. The Commanders made a move that has their franchise quarterback completely blindsided. And what just happened with the coaching staff could shape the future of this entire organization. We're talking firings, betrayals, and decisions that have the DMV fanbase seriously wondering if Dan Quinn knows what he's doing. If you thought the season ended badly, wait till you hear what's coming. This is urgent. This is exclusive. And you do not want to miss a second of this report. The news that's got the entire DMV flipping out just got confirmed. And let me tell you something, this is way deeper than it looks on the surface. Jaden Daniels, our franchise quarterback, the guy who won Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2024, is completely disappointed and blindsided by the Commanders' decision to fire Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator. According to reports from Jordan SCHULTZ, one of the most trusted insiders in the NFL, Daniels isn't just disappointed. He's blindsided. You get what that means in this context? It means nobody told him, nobody asked him, nobody even considered his opinion about the guy who helped turn him into one of the league's most promising quarterbacks. And here's what really worries me. Several of his teammates are also upset about this move. We're talking about a locker room that's already questioning leadership decisions right after the season ended. Is this how you build a winning culture? Is alienating your franchise quarterback really the move? I'm telling you this, Kingsbury wasn't perfect, but he worked with a banged-up Jaden Daniels for most of 2025. The quarterback only played 7 games due to injuries, and yeah, the offense regressed. But whose fault is that? The coordinators? Or the fact that your most important player was hurt? Let me put it in perspective. In 2024, with Kingsbury calling plays and Daniels healthy, this offense was electric. We saw a system that played to Daniels' strengths, his mobility, his arm, his ability to read defenses. The guy won Rookie of the Year for a reason, and Kingsbury played a big role in that. Now let me ask you this. Did Dan Quinn really think through the consequences of this move? Because what he just did was send a loud and clear message to Jaden Daniels. Your opinion doesn't matter. And that, my friends, is dangerous. Look around the league. The Cowboys kept Kellen Moore for years because Dak Prescott was comfortable with him. The Eagles built everything around Jalen Hurts and his preferences. The Chiefs literally let Patrick Mahomes have a say in coaching decisions. And us? We're pushing away our 24-year-old quarterback with sky-high potential. The question everyone's asking is, are the Commanders going to give Daniels a voice in hiring the next offensive coordinator? Because if they don't, they're making a massive mistake. This kid is the future of the franchise. And if you start making big moves without looping him in, what message are you sending? And here's the scariest part. This isn't the first. Tom Daniels has been disappointed with the organization this season. Remember when they shut him down before the season ended? He was upset about that too. Now, 2 major decisions in less than a month, and Daniels is on the wrong side of both. I think Dan Quinn is playing with fire. There's a difference between making tough calls and alienating your most important player. And what scares me is that Quinn seems more focused on saving his job than building a real relationship with his quarterback. Think about it. Kingsbury developed Kyler Murray in Arizona, had success with Daniels as a rookie, and now he's out after a season where the QB was hurt most of the time. Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't to me, and here's the bottom line. If Jaden Daniels isn't happy, nobody in this organization should be happy. Because without him, there is no future. Without him, we're back in quarterback hell. Without him, we're the same old Commanders, a franchise with no direction. Now I'm asking you, do you trust Dan Quinn to hire the right offensive coordinator? Do you believe he'll take Daniels' opinion into account? Because I've got my doubts, and they're growing by the day. But if you thought the Kingsbury news was the only bombshell, let me tell you, Dan Quinn also made another move that should have happened weeks ago. He officially fired Joe Witt Jr. as defensive coordinator. And here's what bugs me about this. The move came late, way too late. The Commanders' defense was historically bad this season, and Quinn waited until we lost 4 straight games by 21 points or more to do something about it. Let me hit you with the numbers, because numbers don't lie. The Commanders finished the 2025 season dead last in every major defensive category. Let me say that again. Dead last. Out of 32 teams, we ranked 32nd in yards allowed per game with 384. We were 27th in points allowed per game with 26.5. We were 31st in takeaways with just 10 all season. And we were 31st in turnover differential at -13. Do you understand what those numbers mean? It means this defense was an absolute train wreck. It means we couldn't stop anybody. It means every week, opposing offenses did whatever they wanted. And the most frustrating part, Quinn is a defensive coach, a guy who built his career on elite defenses. So how does a defensive coach end up with one of the worst defenses in the league? Here's what I think. Quinn tried to protect Witt Jr. for weeks. When things got ugly, Quinn said he was taking over the defense. But what did he really do? He just took over play calling while Witt Jr. stayed up in the booth with the DC title. That's not taking over. That's putting a Band-Aid on a wound that needs surgery. And the defense never got better. Unless we were playing bottom-tier offenses, we were getting shredded. No pressure, no coverage, no run defense. It was a mess at every level. Now the million-dollar question is, who's Dan Quinn going to hire to fix this mess? Because this hire is going to define his future in Washington. No more excuses, no more scapegoats. If Quinn hires the wrong guy, his job is on the line next season. And here's the thing, Quinn's probably going to go with someone he knows. That's his pattern. Raheem Morris just got let go by the Falcons. Al Harris is available from the Bears. These are guys Quinn has ties to, and he'll probably bring one of them in. But now I'm asking you, is that the right move? Or should we be looking for fresh blood, someone from outside with new ideas? Because this coaching cycle has plenty of defensive minds available. Think about Jim Leonhardt from the Broncos. Think about Carl Scott from the Seahawks. Think about Dano Vasso from the Texans. Even Jim Schwartz might be available if Kevin Stefanski doesn't take him to his next job. These are proven defensive coordinators with modern systems and the ability to build elite units. And the truth is, Quinn has to get this hire right. He can't just bring in a buddy. He needs the best candidate available, the guy who can come in and fix this defensive disaster. Because let me be clear, if the defense doesn't improve drastically next season, Dan Quinn is gone. No more room for error. No more excuses. Adam? Peters is giving him one more shot, but if the defense is still trash, Quinn's out. I believe this is the most important decision Quinn will make as Commanders head coach. If he nails it, he might save his job and build a playoff-caliber defense. But if he screws it up, he's signing his own pink slip. And here's what worries me. Quinn already messed up with Witt Jr. He hired him, trusted him, and the defense was a disaster. Are we really trusting him to get it right this time? Or are we in for another year of defensive misery? Look at what the Eagles are doing. Look at the Cowboys and their new direction. Even the Giants are making smart changes. And we're here, trying to patch up the worst defense in the league. Now I'm asking you, do you trust Dan Quinn to make the right hire? Or are you worried we're about to see more of the same next season? And to wrap up today's news, the Commanders are making some under-the-radar roster moves that matter for team depth. According to Nikki Javala from The Athletic, Washington is signing wide receiver Nick Nash and guard Tyler Cooper the futures. Deals. Now, these aren't franchise-changing moves, but they're important for building depth and competition in training camp. Let me break down who these guys are and why you should care. Nash is a 26-year-old wide receiver out of San Jose State. And here's the cool part. This dude started his college career as a quarterback, played 2 years at that spot before switching to receiver, and he was a 2-year starter there. And Nash's college numbers are impressive. In 2024, he earned consensus All-American and first-team All-MWC honors. In 2023, he was second-team All-MWC. The guy produced at the college level, and now he's got a shot to compete for a roster spot in Washington. Over his college career, Nash played in 55 games and racked up 163 catches for 2,212 yards, averaging 13.57 yards per reception and scoring 25 touchdowns. Those are solid numbers for a guy from the Mountain West. Nash originally signed with the Falcons as an undrafted free agent after the 2025 draft, but got cut during final roster cuts and re-signed to the practice squad. Now he's getting a fresh shot with the Commanders. I think Nash could be an intriguing depth piece. His QB background gives him a unique feel for the game, and his college production shows he can be a reliable target. Is he going to be a starter? Probably not. But can he contribute on special teams and as a depth receiver? Absolutely. Now, let's talk about Tyler Cooper, the guard also signing a futures deal. We don't have a ton of info on Cooper in this report, but what we do know is that the Commanders are trying to build depth on the offensive line, and that's crucial. The O-line struggled this season, especially with Jaden Daniels getting banged up. If you can't protect your quarterback, you can't win games. It's that simple. So bringing in guards to compete in camp is a smart move. And these futures deals are part of a bigger list of players the Commanders are signing. That list includes Salah Almave-Laulu, Ricky Barber, Ja'Cory Brooks, Trey Hawkins, DJ Johnson, Jacoby Jones, TJ Magaranyanga, Rob McDaniel, Tim McKay, Darius Rush, and Khalil Vigers. Now I'm asking you, are any of these guys going to be starters? Probably not. But will they compete for roster spots in special teams roles? Absolutely. And that competition builds depth and makes teams better. Look at what elite teams like the Chiefs, Niners, and Eagles do. They're constantly bringing in young guys to compete, push the vets, and create a culture of competition. That's what the Commanders are trying to do here. I think these moves are small but important. They won't make headlines. They won't change the franchise overnight. But they're part of building a complete competitive roster. And the truth is, Adam Peters is doing his job. He's building depth, bringing in young talent, creating competition. Now we need Dan Quinn to do the same with his coaching staff. And there you have it, Commanders Nation. 3 stories that could shape the future of this franchise. Jaden Daniels is disappointed and blindsided by Kingsbury's exit. Joe Witt Jr. is finally out after a defensive disaster. And the Commanders are building depth with futures deals. Now I'm asking you, do you trust Dan Quinn to make the right hires? Do you think Jaden Daniels should have a say in the next offensive coordinator? And are you worried about the future of this franchise? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. Are you as concerned as I am, or do you believe Peters and Quinn can fix this mess? And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? This is where you'll get the most up-to-date news, the deepest analysis, and the pure, realest passion for the Washington Commanders. We're a family here, and we want you to be part of it. Smash that LIKE button if you think Dan Quinn needs to give Jaden Daniels a voice in coaching decisions. Subscribe if you want to keep getting the latest Commanders news. And share this video with every DMV fan who needs to stay informed, because this isn't just a YouTube channel. This is a community. This is a family. And together, we're riding with this team through the highs and the lows. And remember, hail to the Redskins.